Welcome to the deep dive. We've got some really fascinating source material today provided by our listener. It covers the first 6 issues of the Comic Republic series, Aj Day. That's pronounced Ajay.
Yes, it's quite something. An absolutely brilliant series emerging from the Nigerian scene. Our plan today really is to unpack the story so far.
Right, focusing on the main character, Tenny Filoni, the Queen of Witches.
Exactly. And we want to look at how this narrative weaves together, ancient Yoruba beliefs with modern Nigerian life, specifically Lagos.
And we should be clear, everything we discuss today comes directly from those first 6 issues of the comic book source material provided.
Absolutely. Exclusively from the comics.
Okay, so let's dive in. Where does Tenny's story begin? The genesis of this queen.
Well, we first meet Tenny Filoni, and she seems, beautiful, maybe a bit privileged, daughter of a very wealthy Nigerian father, Femi Filoni, and an Irish mother, Fiona.
Living that Victoria Garden City life, the VGC life, she comes across almost like a typical age of butter initially.
Precisely. Comfortable, maybe a little detached from deeper cultural roots at first glance. But her heritage is, well, it's incredibly complex.
Yeah, the source material calls her the product of a forbidden union.
That's right. A union between the ancient Yoruba Aj, often called witches, though it's more complex than that, and the Ifa priests. Very powerful, distinct groups.
Which makes her an Iria Aj.
An abomination, exactly. She carries the power of both lineages, something potentially disruptive to the established cosmic order.
And this immense power doesn't awaken through some grand ceremony, does it? It's much more grounded.
Surprisingly so. It's triggered by pure, raw emotion. Heartbreak, actually. She catches her boyfriend, Edom, cheating on her.
Wow, so simple betrayal unleashes this ancient force.
It seems the Ajay power described in the comics is deeply tied to emotions. Her devastation wasn't just personal pain, it was like a valve releasing, accidentally triggering her bloodline.
And unleashing a curse on Edom, a really devastating one affecting his whole family.
Instantly, the story shifts. It goes from teenage drama to something far bigger.
Because she finds out she's the reincarnation of Orisha Bunmi.
Orisha Bunmi, yes. The last queen of the Aj. That title alone tells you she's inherited a massive amount of history and responsibility.
And trouble finds her immediately.
Almost instantly.
Oh,
Enter the Paymaster.
okay. Who or what is the Paymaster?
He's described as a high prince of the value nexuses. Think of it like a cosmic balance sheet for all energy exchange, curses, blessings, you name it.
So he's like a cosmic accountant.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
He's there because Tenny, by cursing Edom, created a huge imbalance, a massive debt on that cosmic ledger. He's come to collect.
That sounds terrifying. Does she face him alone?
Thankfully, no. She gets help right away from Sofiat Kolawul.
Her general African studies professor?
That's the one. Sofiat steps in as a protector, a guide, and then there's Olugbo.
Olugbo, the cat.
Sofiat's familiar, looks like a regular cat, but when danger appears, he transforms into this formidable Black Panther, ready to fight.
Okay, so she has protection. But the debt still needs settling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The protection's there, the guidance is there, but the Paymaster's bill needs pitting.
Which brings us to issues 4 and 5. Tenny has this, well, almost nuclear power, as the Paymaster describes it. How does she even begin to learn control?
Right. The Paymaster's training isn't about magic lessons in the traditional sense. It's more about understanding consequence.
He makes her pass tests, right, to earn cowries.
Exactly. 3 tests to earn these cowries, which are needed to balance the scales for the damage she did to Edom and his family. It's all about mastering this immense power she barely understands.
And that comparison he makes is quite stark.
Oh, absolutely chilling. He calls her a nuclear weapon tied to a human. Learn control or you destroy everything and everyone around you.
That really frames the stakes. It's not just personal power, it's potentially world-altering.
And the first test demonstrates this perfectly. The theme of unintended consequences.
This is the car incident.
Yes, a minor collision. Someone runs a red light, hits Tenny's car. She remembers Sofiat's advice, stays calm, doesn't lash out with her power.
But it wasn't random, was it?
Not at all. The Paymaster reveals her own latent power, what he calls Orisha Bunmi's righteous rage, actually drew the event to her. It's like a passive negative field.
Pulling trouble towards her even when she's trying to be calm.
Precisely. And here's the kicker, the real twist.
The driver.
The driver she collided with. He was the only surgeon in Lagos qualified to perform a critical operation Edom needed.
Wow. So even by staying calm, her power inadvertently created a situation that could have doomed the very person she wronged in the first place.
Exactly. It's a masterclass in showing her how deep the consequences run, how interconnected everything is.
It's brilliant writing. But alongside this cosmic scale drama, she's dealing with something very, relatable, isn't she? Her identity.
Yes, and this feels incredibly relevant. She struggles because she can't speak Yoruba. She feels like a big part of myself that is missing.
Queen of the Witches, from an ancient Yoruba line, but disconnected from the language. That must resonate with a lot of people, both in Nigeria and in the diaspora.
Definitely. And the story addresses this through a new character, Pino.
Your new friend.
Tinu is introduced as a Lagos local,
Yeah?
and significantly, she's a descendant of the historical figure Yayalud Madame Tinubu, and she has hydrokinetic powers.
Water powers. Cool. And she helps Teeny with the language.
She starts teaching her basic Yoruba phrases, things like "Idakun, please," or how to order street food, "Mofera amala." Simple things, but vital for connection.
And this act of connection actually earns Teeny her second cowrie.
Yes. The paymaster points out that balance isn't about isolation. Tini needs to learn to trust, to rely on others. It's about community, shared strength.
And the paymaster drops that line about fairness.
Balance is balance regardless of what you may think is fair exchange. It's a cold, hard truth about how this cosmic system works. It's not about human morality, it's about equilibrium.
And then he sees Tinny and Tinu together and says,
History repeats itself. A huge piece of foreshadowing.
yeah, that signals things are about to escalate beyond personal lessons.
And they do, dramatically, in issue 6. We jump from Tini's training right into a major crisis.
At the University of Lagos Unilag, pronounced Unilag.
Right. The vice chancellor is discovered dead. It looks like a ritual murder right there on campus. Suddenly, the ancient and the modern clash violently.
And while this is happening at Unilag, Tenny's father, Femi Filoni, is off dealing with his own secrets.
Yes, we see his other life. He's an Ifa priest, part of the Ifa Council. They meet secretly, using the Lagos Oriental Hotel as a cover. Very James Bond.
Trying to keep his wife, Fiona, unaware of this dangerous world he inhabits.
Exactly. And the theme connecting both plots is treachery.
At the Ifa Council meeting.
Femi uses Ifa divination, senses betrayal, warns the Kabiesi, the leader, to be careful. But it's too late. One of the council members, Feishina, attacks.
And this isn't just guns blazing, is it? There's more going on.
Oh, absolutely. They have traditional protective vests, ancient medicine involved. It's this incredible blend of modern conflict and deep Yoruba mysticism.
But Feishina reveals who he's working for.
He does. Confronting Femi, he says, Bashirunga sends his regards.
Bashirunga, that name sounds significant.
Extremely. And Femi's reaction is stunning. He doesn't just fight back physically.
He uses his Ifa power.
He utters the command Diokuta.
Become stone.
And Feishina is instantly turned to solid stone, a raw display of the power these Ifa priests wield.
And Femi confirms the threat immediately after.
Or is their urgent declaration?
Bashirunga has returned.
Okay, so this Bashirunga is the big villain orchestrating things from the shadows.
But it gets even more direct. While Femi is dealing with this, Tenny is back at the Unilag sickbay.
With Ada, her friend.
Yes, and Ada has a confession. She stole one of Tenny's glowing cowries earlier.
The payment Tenny was earning.
And now, possessing it, Ada's been having visions, prophetic dreams. The cowrie is like a mystical link.
And she has a vision related to the murder.
She connects it to someone they know, Professor Muhammad.
A professor at Unilag?
Exactly. But then Ada drops the real bombshell, pointing at him as he walks away with Tinu, Tenny's new friend. What'd she say?
His name is not Professor Muhammad. His name is Bashirunga.
Wait. The historical big bad Bashirunga is posing as a professor, teaching at her university, maybe even close to her new friend.
That's the reveal. The ultimate evil isn't some distant force. He's right there, embedded in her everyday life. It connects the campus murder, the Ifa Council betrayal, everything.
That's incredibly intense, and it highlights what makes this series so powerful, doesn't it? This blend of the ancient and the modern.
Absolutely. It seamlessly integrates Yoruba cosmology, the Aje, Ifa priests, the Cowries, Ozi's warriors, into contemporary Lagos life, VGC, Unilag, the Oriental Hotel.
Yeah.
It feels real, immediate.
And it grounds the mythology. It's not just abstract legend.
Right. And look at the history of Orishabunmi, Tenny's past self. Her righteous rage wasn't portrayed as evil.
She fought against oppressors.
Exactly. Against a colonial witch hunter named Adeptus. And she used her firepower to punish a character named Agbe.
Who was involved in slavery.
Yes. A wealthy cocoa farmer in a place called Ilu Okiti Ogun, profiting from slavery. Orishabunmi's actions were framed as justice, cleansing wickedness.
So, Tenny isn't just inheriting power, she's inheriting a legacy of fighting injustice. It reframes the whole witch concept.
Precisely. It gives depth to her struggle. She's not becoming a monster. She's stepping into a role as a protector, a force for balance against historical evils.
And her personal struggle with Yoruba, with her identity, that feels like such a strong entry point for anyone reading.
It really is. Whether you're Nigerian, part of the diaspora, or completely new to the culture, you can connect with her journey of trying to reclaim that missing part of herself. It makes the story universally accessible.
It's genuinely a sophisticated superhero narrative tackling big themes, power, consequence, identity, but through this distinct, authentic African cultural lens. High-concept fantasy set firmly in Lagos.
Which is why, honestly, just hearing us talk about it doesn't quite do it justice. You need to see it.
The visuals are key. A logbo transforming. Femi's Dio Okuta moment. The look of Unilag under threat. The grandeur of the Oriental hotel meetings.
It adds so much. The art really brings this world and these powers to life in a way that's crucial to the experience.
So we really have to encourage you, the listener, to experience this directly. Dive into the full story.
You can read the entire Aji series so far, plus explore their whole world of heroes by subscribing to the Comic Republic website.
That website is www.thecomicrepublic.com.
And it's incredibly affordable. A subscription is just $1.
Or if you're based in Nigeria, it's 1,000 naira, 1,000.
Subscribing gets you the full comics, the essential visuals we mentioned, and lets you follow the complete story as it unfolds. It's the best way to get the full picture.
Okay, so let's quickly recap the situation at the end of issue 6. Tene, the Arira Aja, Queen of Witches, is just starting to grasp her power and identity.
While her father, Femi, has confirmed the return of Bashrum Ga, a major historical villain.
And that same villain is hiding in plain sight as a professor at Tenny's University. Huge stakes.
Absolutely massive. Which leads us to a final thought for you to consider, building on the Paymaster's words.
History repeats itself.
Exactly. If history repeats, and Tenny is now connected to Tinu, a descendant of the powerful historical figure Ayalud Madame Tinubu, what does that pattern mean for the coming conflict?
Bashirunga represents historical tyranny. Tinu represents historical resistance and power, perhaps?
Maybe. So the question is, what does this repeating pattern demand of Tanini, the new queen of the Aji? What role, what sacrifice might history require of her to finally break this cycle of evil returning? Something to think about as you dive into the comics yourself.